Hello, today I'm going to be taking a look at a starter warband for Saga from Wargames Foundry. This is actually a little 4-point starter warband. All of the miniatures are one-piece metal casts. So let's just get the bags out here. 3-4 bags, bag of shields, spears. You also get all of the bases you need, so a 40mm round for your war boss, plus 25s for the individual figures. You get a set of brass spears glued to the back of this card so you don't lose them, and that'll be one per man who needs one. Get a bag of shields. Just throw these out very quickly to have a quick look. We have, let me see, 4 types, possibly 5. We go blank, cross, 6. Yep, 6 shields. So if you fancy doing some freehand, you can, or you can get transfers for them. The backs all have the wooden plank texture carved onto them. And then we get our bags. So according to this, we get a warlord, 2 sets of nobles, and 2 sets of chorls, which is possibly not the right pronunciation. This is one of our bags of nobles. So what have we got? These are quite a nice one piece. Chunky bits of flash there, but it won't take much to clean those up. As far as the actual casts go, mold lines are minimal. You see there's practically a sign of one. Should be running through the middle of that scabbard and up, and it's barely visible, and I can't feel it with my finger. Flashing's a bit chunky, but nothing that isn't going to be particularly egregious to remove. Can feel it around the helmet there a little bit. These are probably closer to true 28 compared to modern day sculpts where they are 32 or 40mm, ridiculous sized. So these are a nice set of sculpts. Quite like that hat. Although these are labelled as a Saxon warband, you could easily use these as Anglo-Saxon or even Anglo-Dane if you wanted to. Sort of erring on the more cartoonish side of sculpting, shall we say. So proportions are a little chunkier, although not necessarily so chunky that it would be noticeably big compared to other manufacturers. These scale quite well with Gripping Beast. So our nobles, there were 5 in that bag. I believe this will be another 5. Yeah. So single axe, sword, 2 more with spear, and again, despite some flashing, the actual casts are very crisp. So the detail that's there is not marred or softened in any way despite their age. Here we have our warlord, which means one of the previous bag was probably his standard. In fact, I think this is the pair they suggest as the standard bearer and your warlord. Again, Bit of flash there. Nice bit of detail on the scabbard. Nice simple figures. I won't go through every one of these. You get 2 bags of chorls. These are the warriors. These are a mixture of hand weapon and spear. All the spears obviously are attached to the little card, all the brass spears. So you've got some of them with the leggings tied on to protect them from the cold. Wearing a scramasax across his front of his belt. Nice. So we actually have 9 in this set because there's a bonus figure. Nice helmet on that with a crest. This is a exhausted noble, he's called. Like a Tory MP, he's tired and emotional, not drunk, although he does appear to be holding a flagon of something frothy, so he's had enough fighting for today. Like how he's just holding his helmet nonchalantly by the nose guard. Nice figure. So apart from that, which is the 4-point set, I also have the 3-point reinforcement. So we'll just get those to one side. So the reinforcement set adds to this one, and it gives you another unit of nobles, another unit of warriors, another unit of chorls, and then the gebergs or levy. So 3 points plus a bonus wounded model. Again, we get a card with the brass spears, plus all the bases and shields you require. And then our miniatures. I believe these are packed randomly to a certain extent, but packed in a way where you're not going to get multiples of the same. So even across the 2, oh dear, there's our wounded fellow who appears to have an arrow right through him. So even though you get 3 sets of warriors in here, you shouldn't be looking at any multiple pieces. Slight mold line on this one. It's the most noticeable one I've seen. But that cleanup's not going to be long with the file. Another spearman. And a warrior. There's another. Mold line running along it. Where the mold lines are on the miniature, they're not obscuring details, so it's not running through the face. I believe this one's actually running through the top of the arm and into the hair. It's actually fairly, well, you can see it on the back, you can't really see it on the side with the hair there. That's not too bad. There is a hornblower. And we'll have a look at the nobles from this set. Some more axe wielders. Collect up a mill, cast my own. We have 4 more noblemen. So this first one, he's got a bandage over his eye, he's clearly been wounded. It's tucked up under his helmet there. This gentleman is extolling the virtues of Woden Very early example of a Saxon screaming his nuts off. We have somebody carrying Ulfbear, one of their swords. Got a cloak on him as well. And our final noble is drawing a sword. Little bits of flash. Again, a very nice sculpt. Quite a bit of character in these molds. So even though they are relatively old, I think the character shines through. They will require a little bit of cleanup. I've not seen anything that is noticeably mismolded in any of the miniatures I've picked up. In fact, at worst, all I've seen is some bits of flashing that they cleaned off and then some mold lines. But there's no slippage and no deformation of detail on any of them. So it's an interesting little warband from a great company. If you haven't checked out Wargames Foundry before, they have a back catalogue for pretty much any historical period you can think of. And a lot of the sculpts come from Games Workshop sculptors, the likes of the Perrys or Steve Saga or people like that. Mark Copplestone did quite a few bits and pieces for them in the past as well. So the catalogue from the sculptors are extensive, and I think quality still shows through even after all these years. So that is the Saxon Warband and Reinforcements pack from Wargames Foundry. Let me know what you think below. Will you be picking these up for Saga yourself?
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.